Hello students, how are you all? Welcome to this session of English language. Today we are going to discuss the chapter Direct and Indirect Speech. In this chapter we will discuss the structures and various rules for the transformation of direct into indirect speech and vice versa. So, first of all, what is direct speech? What is direct speech? When first person says something to the second person directly, this means this is known as direct speech. For example, when your teacher says to a specific person that collect the copies of the class. Okay, so this speech is between the teacher and that particular student. So this is known as direct speech. But when that student tells the teacher saying to the other students that ma'am has told me to collect the copies, then the second person is telling the speech of the first person to the third person. This type of speech is known as indirect speech. Okay, so basic difference is when the first person says something to the second person directly, this is known as direct speech, and when the second person says the speech of the first person to the third person, okay, means communicate the speech of the first person to the third person, this type of speech is known as indirect speech. For example, if I say that the sentence is he said I am doing my work. He said I am doing my work. So just remember one thing, in the direct speech we use comma and inverted commas. So the part before the comma is known as reported verb and the part within the inverted commas is known as reported speech. Okay, I'm repeating it again. The part before the comma is known as reported verb, and the part within the inverted commas is known as reported speech. Now, there are changes made during reported verb also and reported speech also. So, let us see that how we have to convert this. In the we have to transform this in normal assertive sentence. We remove comma and inverted comma and use that in place of commas and inverted commas, and we will do the changes in reported speech according to the tense. Okay, there are some rules and there are some rules for the changement of tenses and your reported verb. So let us see first of all the rules that you have to keep in your mind while doing the transformation in indirect speech, and it is related to reported verb. Let us see what it is. Said. Said remains said. Suppose here the word in the reported speech is used as said. So in this case, when we will transform to indirect speech, said will remain said. Said to will be converted to told. Said to is changed to told. Says is changed to says only. Says remains says only. Says to will become tells. Say will be remain as say only, and say to will become tell. So if you are recognizing the pattern, it is like this, that wherever to is written, then only the changement is done, otherwise it remains same. See, here to is written, it becomes told. Here to is written, it becomes tells. Here say to is written, it becomes tell. But wherever to is not there, it remains the same. Okay, this is a pattern to remember the things. So these were the changes in your reported verb. In case of assertive sentence, I'm repeating, in case of assertive sentence. Now let us see what are the changes that are made in reported speech. The main changes are of tenses. So let us see that what are the changes made in reported speech. And this applies to all the types of sentences, whether it is interrogative sentence or whether it is assertive sentence or whether it is your you can say that imperative sentence, it remains same for all. Now let us see what are the change of tenses in reported speech. Your simple present is when you transform the sentence into indirect speech, simple present changes to simple past. Simple present changes to simple past. Present continuous changes to past continuous. Present continuous changes to past continuous. Present perfect changes to past perfect. Present perfect changes to past perfect. And present perfect continuous changes to past perfect continuous. These were some of the changes in present tense. Okay, these were some of the changes in present tense. What happens that whatever type of present tense it is, it gets converted to the same type of its simple to the same type of its past one. Suppose if it is simple present, it gets converted to simple past. Present continuous is converted to past continuous. Present perfect is converted to past perfect, and present perfect continuous gets converted to past perfect continuous. Means जिस टाइप का भी आपका प्रेजेंट टेंस है वो उसी के पास्ट टेंस में जाकर के कन्वर्ट होगा. Now let us see about past tense. What are the changes that are made in past tense? Simple past changes to past perfect, and past continuous changes to past perfect continuous. Again, I'm repeating, simple past changes to past perfect, and past continuous changes to past perfect continuous. Now, there is a simple trick to remember this thing. See, you know that at the first place it comes simple, then continuous, then perfect, then perfect continuous. So this is your number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, and this is number 4. Just learn it in this form कि पहले आता है simple, then आता है continuous, then perfect continuous. So what happens is, in the case of past tense only I'm saying, remember, note point, in the case of past tense only, 1 gets changed to third, and 2 gets changed to transform to fourth. Means odd, even. What it is? Odd, even. ठीक है. Odd changes to odd and even changes to even. That is 1 changes to 3, 2 changes to 4. See, हमारा फर्स्ट पे क्या था? सिंपल पास्ट था, तो सिंपल पास्ट चेंजेस टू परफेक्ट पास्ट परफेक्ट. ओके. एंड हमारा पास्ट कॉन्टिन्यूस changes to past perfect continuous. So this is a simple trick, but you have to remember this sequence. अगर ये sequence आपका गड़बड़ हुआ तो आपके ये जो ट्रिक है वो गलत हो जाएगी. तो आपको ये सीक्वेंस रिमेंबर करना है, याद रखना है, तब यू कैन चेंज फ्रॉम ऑड टू ऑड एंड इवन टू इवन. आई होप you will pay attention to this point. And one more thing, the note point is that past perfect and past perfect continuous does not change. Past perfect and past perfect continuous does not change. These tenses does not change while transforming it into indirect speech. Let us head. Now, there are some words also which you have to change while transforming the sentences from direct speech to indirect speech. Okay, this is the changement from direct speech to indirect speech. What are the changements? This becomes that, this changes into that, here changes to there, today changes to that day, tomorrow changes to the next day, may changes to might, shall changes to would. In most of the cases it changed to would, but in some of the exceptional cases it changes to should also, where it is determined. These changes to those, hence changes to thence, yesterday changes to the previous day, can changes to could, and will changes to would. Okay, these are some of the changes in reported speech while transforming the sentence from direct to indirect speech. Now, if we talk about what happens when we changes from indirect speech to direct speech. Then, in indirect speech, these are the words given, and you convert these words to this side, these words. Okay, suppose in indirect speech that is given, so you will change that to this, there to here, that day to today, the next day to tomorrow, like this. In the same way, if your sentence, indirect speech sentence is in past perfect continuous tense, then if you will, you have to transform it into direct speech, then this reported speech will be made to past continuous while transforming from indirect speech to direct speech. Okay, let's head. Okay, students, there are some of the some more cases, and we will discuss it in next video, next part of indirect and indirect speech. Okay, this is it for this session. Thank you so much.